It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
All right, Brian, here's another one. This is from Aaron. Aaron says, if my company 401k, they use Merrill Lynch, doesn't have a lot of good options, but has a self-directed brokerage, should I open that so I have more low-cost options? Or should I just use an IRA? This is one of those times, Brian, where I think sometimes we get so caught up and we're so familiar with financial lingo. I bet there are a lot of people who log in their 401k and they see this thing that says like SDB, self-directed brokerage, or maybe it's at Fidelity and they see Brokerage Link, or they have a Schwab plan and they see PCRA. Why don't you talk a little bit about what those accounts are, why they can be valuable, why they could be detrimental, and maybe even planning opportunities that can be connected to those.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely advanced stuff here. And when you see those things, you can tell that whoever organized or set up your 401k wanted to add a little flexibility or robustness to the 401k plan in case people were doing advanced planning strategies. Because most retirement plans, your 401ks and so forth, you have to love the one you're with, and it's not uncommon that your employer will have, it could be as low as like 7 options to hundreds of options, and they give you the enrollment package and you try to choose, am I picking individual funds? Am I choosing target retirement funds or index target retirement funds? And you have to make this decision. And that's kind of it, other than how much you're funding. Well, then you have these, you went through all the acronyms, but when you have a brokerage link option.
That's the Fidelity version.
That's the Fidelity version. That's what we're very familiar with that. When you have the ability to have a separate account set up, what it does is it says, hey, you can open up a separate, or it's actually within the 401k, but it allows you to have access to pretty much any investment that custodian actually gives their other customers access to. This could be great if you work with an employer that uses a great custodian that has low-cost options, that don't have commissions, that have low internal expenses, because it's not going to allow you to add different asset classes that were not available. However, it could be detrimental if it's expensive, or it's going to cause you to lose focus of your why with these retirement assets, where you find yourself buying options or individual stocks or doing things that, we've even heard people playing around with cryptos in some of these accounts.
Of those, yeah.
It's be careful and never lose focus on the why, because it is one of those things we like early investors to keep it simple with how much can I save, when do I need it, use the index target retirement funds, but there is going to come a point you graduate beyond that, and you're going to like when you're in step 7, hyperaccumulation, and when you think about the 3 bucket strategy and how you're putting money in different asset classes in those accounts, you're going to like that you even can buy beyond just stocks, bonds, and cash like most 401ks have.
Yeah, one of the things I love when I see these, well, you hold up your little deliverable right there. We follow the financial order of operations. You can go to learn.moneyguy.com if you want to get a deep dive into what the financial order of operations is. We love it. We love when people are able to actually work through it, and they'd go to step 5 and they're maxing out their tax-free accounts, and they get to step 6 and they're maxing out their employer-sponsored accounts. Well, a lot of 401ks aren't great. A lot of 401ks are just like what Aaron says. They have expensive options. There aren't any good indexes. It's, laden with fees. It's just not great, right? So you start thinking, man, I want to do number 6. I want to max that out, but man, that really stinks. If you do have a self-directed brokerage option, it's with a large brokerage firm, it does allow you to maybe improve the plan that you're getting to participate in. Go buy some low-cost indices, add asset, different diversification, like Brian said. So I love seeing those in there. And what it might do is, suppose you're someone who is above the income limits to be able to do backdoor Roth. And you've heard us say, well, hey, you should consider rolling your IRAs into a 401k if that makes sense. He said, but yeah, I can't do that. My IRA at Vanguard or Fidelity or Schwab is so good. I don't want to roll it into this Merrill Lynch plan that has all these awful things. Perhaps the introduction of that self-directed account, of that brokerage link, of that PCRA creates a mechanism where you don't actually lose your investment opportunities just because now those dollars will be captivated inside of your 401k. You already said this, Brian. This is like heavy inside baseball. If you are thinking about carrying out and perpetrating some of these strategies, this is a prime example of when it makes sense to take the relationship to the next level. Go check out the website, aboundwealth.com. We have a team of financial advisors here that would love to help walk you through whether that makes sense for your situation or not.
You always say perpetrate versus implement. And it always makes me think you're working on putting together a caper like Ocean's 11 or something like that when I hear perpetrate. So that's just a little quirky.
Well, now I'll never say that word without thinking of that again.